Okay, Dr. RJB here, and I wanted to talk about a little thing called EPOC, EPOC, which stands for excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. And this is kind of the secret to weight loss, by the way. What I mean by EPOC is that after you finish your exercise, you continue burning calories throughout the day. And basically, the more calories you burn, the more weight you can lose. So you want to be in this situation where you're burning excess calories. Now, what's going on here is this. You do an exercise, you know how sometimes when you're doing an exercise, you get out of breath. So let's just say you're out on the trail and you decide you're going to do a fast pace for a period of time. And you're going as fast as you possibly can for this distance. What happens? After you finish, you're out of breath, right? You're huffing and puffing, trying to catch your breath. Well, this trying to catch your breath is basically what you're doing is you're trying to replace energy molecules, basically. There's a molecule called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which when we have that, we break it down to adenosine diphosphate. Triphosphate is 3, diphosphate is 2. So you lose a phosphate group. And in doing so, you get a little kind of like spark of electrical energy, which fires the muscle. Now, when you're exercising at a really intense pace, you're using up a lot of these ATP molecules. But because what you're doing is in general not an aerobic state, you're not making a lot of molecules. Now, when you're doing something called the anaerobic metabolism, that's anaerobic meaning without oxygen, you're breaking down sugar molecules to form ATP. But anaerobically, when you do this, it's an inefficient process. So you take this molecule of glucose and you form 2 ATP molecules with it. That's anaerobic. Now, if you had done this aerobically, the oxygen molecule plus the sugar molecule, you get 21 molecules of ATP. So lots and lots of energy, in other words, 21 as versus 2, okay? So anaerobic metabolism uses up a lot of ATP and doesn't replace them very well. So you got to replace them eventually because you need the energy for otherwise. You're not going to just kind of sit there for the rest of the day. You got to eventually move. So you need energy. So what's happening with EPOC, the excess post-exercise oxygen consumption, is you're basically kind of taking in extra oxygen, you're burning extra calories to make these ATP molecules for more energy for the muscles. In general, the anaerobic type exercise works like this the most. And sometimes you can burn those excess calories throughout the rest of the day, up to 18 to 24 hours after the exercise is done. Many times with aerobic type exercise, let's just say walking or running, you don't really get out of breath most of the time. And so you're taking in plenty of oxygen. You may be breathing deeply when you're exercising, but you're not running out of oxygen. In other words, when I go out, let's just say I run for 3 miles. When I get done, it's not like I'm bent over huffing and puffing. No, I just walk to the car, get back in the car, drive home. I'm fine. I'm relaxed when I do those runs, and I'm not totally out of breath. I might be a little tired from doing it, but that's about it. Same thing for somebody who's walking 3 miles. They're not out of breath when they're done. They're not finishing the 3 miles walking and bent over and huffing and puffing and try to catch their breath. No. They finish their 3 mile walk and they walk a little bit further to get back to the car and they go home. So this is not the way. Now, let's just say I decide that I'm going to do intervals. So I decide instead of running an easy 3 miles, I'm going to do a mile, but I'm going to do it 100 yards at a time as fast as I can. After I finish the 100-yard dash, I'm out of breath. Now, I could rest for a short period of time and then do another 100 yards and then rest again. If I don't rest long enough to recover all the oxygen, I'm basically going to get quite an oxygen debt. I actually do this. It's something called Tabata training, and I've described it in another video. So I use basically a stopwatch when I do this. I'll do 20 seconds fast and then 10 seconds slow. And if I do enough of that and I don't take a full rest in the 20 seconds, I'm usually getting more and more and more out of breath. With Tabata training, you do 8 reps of this. So 8 fast spurts, short rests that don't recover completely. So by the time of the 8th one, I'm totally out of breath, and I really then have to stop and do some resting to catch my breath because I'm so out of breath by that time. So at that point now, because I'm out of breath, I got to replace all these energy molecules. And to do that, I'm going to break down sugar from the diet to make all this excess energy throughout the day. If you maintain your calories or decrease them a little bit, this excess of calorie burn will help you to lose weight. So like I said, it's kind of the secret to losing weight. Because usually if you're just doing an exercise that's easy for you, you may not be burning extra calories later on the day. By burning calories throughout the day, and if you're not eating a huge amount of food, you're going to lose weight. So this is kind of a secret. The big thing is trying to control your eating. If you don't burn calories, no matter how many that you burn, you can always eat more. So let's just say I'm going out for my 3-mile run again. I burn 100 calories per mile. 3 miles, that's 300 calories. Well, it's a sandwich. One sandwich, and I've just replaced everything that I've lost in my 3-mile run. So unless I control what I'm eating, I'm not going to lose weight. And it goes the same for this epoch. No matter that you're burning calories throughout the day, you can always eat more and compensate for that calorie burn. So basically the whole idea is to control your calories, use the epoch to burn extra calories throughout the day, and by doing this, you've kind of gained the secret. Okay, take care.